Welcome to UK Business Show, UK's premier business show where we feature business thought leaders, high achievers, and industry experts. Today's episode is brought to you by World Outsourcing Solutions Limited, a company that specializes in helping executive business owners with virtual assistant services and business growth systems. Here's your host, Yukai Kechidori.
Hello and welcome back to another very special episode. With me is Dr. Gonzalez, a gentleman who is out there helping people transform their lives. Let me ask you a question. Are you struggling maybe with mental health as a business owner? Maybe you're struggling, you're not sleeping well. Maybe your health is not great. Maybe you're doing far too many things, working 12, 15 hours a day, and you're beginning to wonder, when am I going to stop? Is this all there is? Oh, you've got so many questions. Today, my guest is going to help you find the solution. Dr. Gonzalez, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
Thank you very much. And thank you for letting me join you on your business show.
Incredible. You have a remarkable story. You were excelling, in your early 50s. You were at the top of your game, doing everything you can. In fact, you were managing one of the world's biggest companies at the time, and you became a dad. Tell us what happened after that or during that time.
Yeah, that time was exciting, but also was exhausting for me because I tried to be the best parent and at the same time the best professional I could. So I dedicated long hours to everything, sleeping bad, sleeping short time, eating on the go, and not moving enough. So it arrived a time that I found myself like dizzy, without enough spark to get up in the morning and go again to work or to take care of my babies at that time. And so I decided that I have to do something around, And just a casual conversation I had told me, you're not taking care of you,
Yes.
And I realized that it was true. I wasn't taking care of myself. I was taking care of everything around me, but not of me. And this is something that happens a lot to professionals, entrepreneurs, and business owners. They dedicate everything it has to be done in the quest for success, but they forget about themselves.
Yes. The reason I particularly like your story is I see myself in it, and many other people listening to our conversation here, that there are times we are driven to get to somewhere. And oftentimes it's not exactly what we want, but it is the expectation that we have that we think the world needs of us to do, or maybe the family, maybe the community. But you have a strong belief that when things are not working so well, or people are struggling with mental health, or these things that are driving them, they ought to stop and ask themselves this question: am I doing this for me, or am I doing it for everyone? Talk to us about that.
This is a crucial question because it's the beginning for everything. Once you make yourself this question, you can decide what is that you're doing for yourself, or what is that you're doing because you're expected to. Yeah. But the important thing here is that I always tell my patients and clients many times, you're right, you have to do all this because you have special talent or a great idea that you have to put on the world. But you think that the only way to do this is by not sleeping or by working working a lot of hours. And this is not the case. You can learn a way to do these things without harming yourself,
That's right.
And do it before it gets signs of illness. Because when the illness appears, then this is when many times the majority of these people stop, because they have a myocardial infarct or a faint at work or whatever, and they say, I have to rethink myself. No, you have a lot of signs just years before this. And this is the moment when you can You have to make yourself this question.
Dr. Gonzalez, I know you've worked with a lot of people since you yourself discovered that you had to stop. And you've gone on to create retreats, and you're helping business owners, particularly to stop, not overdo it, and really assess where they are and make perhaps better choices in what they're trying to build. Talk to us about some of the success stories that you have experienced in your new approach.
Yeah, well, the first success story is myself, because I did a retreat at that time. It was about mindfulness, good eating, healthy eating, and exercise. And it was 4 days that I stayed quiet without all the stress around, without telephones, and all this kind of stuff. And then I could clarify what I wanted to do with my life, and what I needed to do medically with me. And I have, for example, another success story in this same way with a person that came to me because the reason for coming he was overweight, and he wanted to get us rid of the 10, 15 kilos he had in overweight, but he couldn't. And the thing is that this person was completely with high stress levels that we measure through a lot of technological tools we have nowadays, and also physiologically, he was depleted of some vitamins without minerals. That's why, because he wasn't eating as well as he should. And what we did first was to balance this physiological equilibrium that he lost. And then he became much clearer because, body and mind are completely interconnected. And if you have your body with a lot of stress, you are creating a lot of physiological metabolites that are damaging also your cognitive capacity, and your mental health. Then this man got much clearer, and he told me, do you know what, doctor? I'm not going to pursue this career I wanted. No, I just wanted to live it and live another life. And he has changed completely his life. He's now dedicating to write because he's a very good writer, and he's a businessman that writes about art, and he likes art a lot, and he's completely fine. But the thing is that we spent together 3 months period of follow-up I did for him, just helping him to change this mindset, because his strength was to, okay, I'm going to write, and then his strength was going to spend 18 hours writing. I said, no, you cannot do that, because life is a balance of everything, and we have 6 pillars of health, and the 6 pillars are how you eat, how you move, how you think, how you connect with others, and how you reflect yourself. And if you don't balance all these 6 pillars, then sooner or later you arrive to get with some kind of disease. It can be physical, but it can also be a depression or anxiety or all this stuff that precisely these days after pandemic, we are suffering in all the world.
Yeah, I love what you said about having a balance in all these 6 pillars of life. And what I find when I interact with some of my fellow business friends, or the people I get to do life with, is they will focus on one particular area. I'm not a saint in this. There are times and there are seasons in my life that I focus on one area and drive it as much, but as far as I possibly can. But knowing and hearing you about talking about the balance in these 6 pillars of life, it helps anybody to stop and think, okay, am I doing the right thing? Is this in my best interest long-term wise or even short-term wise? And I'm glad that you brought that up. We want to talk about, when you say onboard a new client who wants to change their way of being, way of life, you take them through the physiology changes and the mindset changes. Can we explore those 2 concepts? right now? Maybe we'll start with the mindset.
Yeah, well, what I do is to practice. I'm one of the pioneers in Europe, I think, at least in this continent, to practice what I call the precision preventive medicine. I use two main innovative tools that we have, which is epigenetics, that tells me which of the genes that you have at this moment are expressing or on or off. So I know if you have some metabolic pathways or organ systems altered.
Right.
And also I use artificial intelligence to help me make this assessment very well, so I can identify precisely where is the physiological problem. Many times it has to be with all this antigenic load that the person has been charging during years and years of not taking care of this balance of the 6 pillars. And once we restore it, the person is able to think more clearly because he finds himself or herself much better. No? He sleeps better, he is able to do more things physically, and then they became motivated. And this is the moment where I tell them, okay, now you have to learn something that no one taught you when you were a child. And it is that self-care, self-compassion is the biggest asset that a one man can have. And we don't have to feel guilty for that, because this is the problem. No, we live in Occident, we live in a cultural environment where if you take care of yourself, you seem egoist, no? And it seems that you don't care about the others. And this is not true. If you remember, in the airplanes, the stewards always say, if you need, if the pressure of the cabin goes down and the mask goes down, if you are with a child, first put on your mask and then the child, not the other way. And this is the same for life. If you don't put your mask on in the early years, even when you are beginning to be in an entrepreneurship or in a high executive position or whatever, you have to put your mask on and preserve your health, your mental and physical health. Because if not, your success is not going to be as good as you expected, and probably you're not going to enjoy it. That this is what happens many times. You know, when they talk about the crisis of the 50s, you know, or the 40s, you know, and what happens many times, it's really a physiological base, you know, that they have charged with all this negative load, and then they don't feel like, yes, I've got all this I wanted, but I'm not enjoying it, no. And this is what lies in the back end, no, in the backlog of all this.
Well, what I'm hearing very clearly there is take care of yourself. You know, I'm going to talk to Bill and everyone listening right now, that if you haven't taken time to stop and look at exactly what is happening in your life, are you taking care of yourself? Maybe this is one of those calls to say, hey, stop, take care of yourself. Because Dr. Gonzalez, you and I agree on this thing that if you don't have yourself in a good health position, you won't be able to be as effective in supporting others or creating that dream. You have to be in a better place yourself. And that's where taking care of yourself comes into it. I truly appreciate you mentioning that. And I'm going to be thinking about that even after we've recorded this and really look at where I am in terms of taking care of myself, in my health, in my eating, in my enjoying life, in my relations with other people, or in appreciating the moment. Am I always rushing? Am I always in the future? Am I always thinking about what has gone wrong? Or am I going to be right where I am? I think anybody who takes stock in where they are will find that they are making progress, even where it doesn't seem to be a progress. So I appreciate that. Let's talk about the mindset, Dr. Gonzalez, for people who do that, take care of themselves. What mindset would you encourage people to cultivate?
Yeah. The mindset that I encourage them to have is this one of self-compassion, no? And be caring of themselves, be able to forgive them because of mistakes, to forgive others also, but mainly forgive them for mistakes. No one is perfect. And that you have to give yourself a celebration, no? Once you make things good, no? And also, don't feel guilty if you say no many times to many things. For example, when you are in the beginning of your career, and I know it perfectly like as a doctor, when we are in our residency training, we think that we have to say yes to everything because we have to learn a lot of things and our future is in there, no? But we don't realize because probably we are young and we were grown up with this mindset of not taking care of ourselves. But many times you, especially executives, you find yourself like going out to events, to many events, to do networking that you really don't need because they take time you off your family or just sleeping, no? Because yes, they end late many times, so you don't sleep enough for the other day, or you go out to executive dinings where you have to drink because this is what's socially expected, and then you drink, and maybe you even don't like to drink, but you do it, no? Yeah. And then you find yourself after 15 or 17 years doing that, you find yourself that I have bad stomach ache or whatever, and it's alcohol that it's not making you anything good, no? And the thing is that we all think that no, I needed that, no? If I don't drink, for example, a bit of alcohol, I won't dare to tell this, or I won't dare to make this joke or whatever. And this is not true, no? The truth is that if we are confident of ourselves because we love ourselves, you can make anything you're intended to do in this world, no? And you can expand your mission. And this is something that I have learned very late in my life, but I'm glad that I have learned it, no? Because this is something that I'm going to pass on to my twins, 8-year-old twins, that I'm very happy of, no? I don't want them to repeat the same cycle, no? Of working without knowing even where they go or why they work.
Well, the goal for this conversation is to help you, Bill, and many people to flourish in your life, not just be consumed with what is happening right now, or just being driven to accomplish goal after goal. Take a moment and stop. What is it that truly makes you happy? And are you balanced in your approach? Are you balanced in your relationships? Are you balanced in your health, in your mental health, in your physiology, in all areas of your life? Because if you're not, it's either now or later on, you will suffer the consequences of not taking time to look at your own life. We want you to take a stock and pause. Now, I know, coming back to you, Dr. Gonzalez, that there's a lot of people listening today who knows this truth that, yes, I need to do that. But they've tried it to take a stock, they've tried to stop, but they still feel pressure to go and accomplish. They still, a feeling that they've got to go and do more, even though they know they're not doing well. In your opinion, Dr. Gonzalez, what stops a lot of people from making the right change that they want to make?
Well, there are many factors, but the first one is the contextual one, not the environment. No, if you are in an environment where competitiveness and hard work is the norm, it is very difficult to get out of that. No, because you have fear of, if I don't do as the others, I will fail. No?
That's right.
So you have to be brave to get out of this box and behave differently. It's completely different when you realize that you can do the same without harming yourself, no? Without doing all these work long hours.
Yeah.
And
before you mentioned the second one, I just remembered what one of my mentors said about that. That the environment is stronger than willpower. When you are in that environment, like you're saying, where everybody is accomplishing, everybody seems to be driven, especially in London. I remember when I was in London, everybody's on the go. There is no time to sleep. If you sleep, you look lazy. And if you're not achieving or showcasing some of your success, it seems like, what are you doing? But when you remove yourself from that environment, That's why retreats are important. And I'm glad that you have one coming up very soon, where you just go out of the norm, reflect and look at your life as a whole, and look at what is it that you stand for. What are your beliefs? What are you about? What do you want to achieve? How do you want to be remembered? How do you want to live life? Being rushed, being, chased, chasing one thing after the other. Those, time to stop are very, very important. Please go ahead. I stopped you there.
No. I was just thinking when you're talking that what happens many times is that if you don't balance all these 6 pillars I was mentioning before, then you get stuck in this, no? But for example, environment, no? If you cultivate the relationships pillar of health, you may find other people outside of your work or this environment that are living life in a different way. So you can see it, no? And then you can maybe get it for you, no? It's stated also that, for example, if you live in a family of obese people, you're going to be obese. That's something. So it's the same for this mindset, no? If you are only circled by people that are always competitive and hardworking all the day, you're going to be like them. But if you open your circle and you find other kind of people and you find other ways of living, this is a way to balance things, no? That's why when people come to me, I always tell them, well, if you are thinking that I have a miracle or a quick fix for your ailments, it's better that we don't lose our time, because it's something that I can guide you. That's why I call myself physician coach, because I'm a physician, of course. I help you with your physiology and your physical health, but I also guide you in how to arrive to this mindset of balancing your pillars of health. No? And this is the most important thing. And I think that this is the way that medicine should have been practiced always, no? But we forgot it for the technology. No? Technology in medicine, it's the best thing we have had if you use it well. But in the late, let's say 30, 40 years, we have been like astonished by it, and we forgot our human side of the medicine. And this is the good thing, no? That I think that we have today enough technology and innovation to do a good, precise medicine, but also if we add the human side, then we have the perfect formula for helping people. And that is why I'm now dedicating to this.
Yeah, I'm glad you're dedicating your life to helping business owners and everybody really look at how they are living, for sure. Dr. Gonzalez, we're coming toward the end of our time here together. And I know you've got a lot of great programs and also retreats that business owners in our community might find useful if they want to improve their lives. Where can they access all this great information or even reach out to you?
Yeah, they can reach out to me. The best way is through my website, where they have a calendar to book a call with me. Yes. And then we can chat directly on what their problems are, and I can see if I can help them in some way. If I cannot, I will do my best to address them to the best. Maybe they need a specialist. Sometimes it happens, that they explain to me their symptoms, and I say, oh yeah, of course, maybe you will have to work with me alongside, but also you have to go to a specialist because you're explaining me about the disease, no? But through this call, we can talk about many things, and especially not only symptoms or illnesses, but about life, about themselves, and then help them in how to drive this better, no? And to get the stuck of this moment there.
Yes. Well, incredible, absolutely incredible. Thank you for that. And also you can reach Dr. Gonzalez on social media as well.
Yeah, I have my social media accounts in Instagram, Facebook, and also in LinkedIn. So they can can arrive to me through there. So I'm open to have an open conversation with people and try to help them and guide them in how to best solution their problems.
Excellent. And you'll find the links to all these great places below this recording for future purposes. Dr. Gonzalez, thank you so much for being here. One last time, talk about those 6 pillars that we're talking about. For those that may have missed them, what are those pillars, and how can you make sure that you balance them?
Yeah. In your life, you have 6 pillars that keep and sustain our health. And this is, the first one is eating, nourish yourself. The second is move. The third one is think about yourself and your life, reflection. The fourth is connect with others. The fifth is balance your physiology. And the sixth is how to relate to the environment, how to you take care of what is maybe damaging you, because of the pollution, or depends, maybe you live in a big city or in a rural area, but you have to take care of this.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely amazing. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. If you really want to improve your life, where it is, or you are planning for future, you know who to consult. Dr. Gonzalez is currently living in Spain, but was in California not too long ago, and was right here in United Kingdom again not too long ago, but is resorted to live in Spain right now. I'm excited about Spanish because I'll be in Canary Island not too long from now to take some time off for an entire week. All the gadgets will be switched off. Dr. Gonzalez, you'll be proud of me.
Yeah, you can experience our lifestyle, the Mediterranean lifestyle. Even the Canary Islands are far in Africa, but we live there because they are Spanish from a long time ago. And I also wanted to explain to our audience that they can contact me and I can attend them online. That's why I'm making these interviews, because I can attend online today, which is easy, and it's a global audience that I want.
Yes, perfect. That's amazing. Thank you so much there, Dr. Gonzalez. Once again, if you want to know how to balance your life, click the link below, get connected with Dr. Gonzalez, or reach out to us and we'll find out how we can help you. In fact, I'm hoping that Dr. Gonzalez will come and participate in our next episode where we are looking at mental health, and also maybe participate in our book launch at some point so that we can provide you with more of this information. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, live well, live with passion. Know that the best is truly, truly yet to come. Goodbye for now.
Thank you for listening to UK Business Show. We will be back to bring you more episodes with success stories and advice straight from the experts. Want more? Check out www.ukbusinessshow.com. Get your free trial of our virtual assistant service today. Just visit www.worldoutsourcingsolutions.com. Quote WOS18 or send us an email at support@worldoutsourcingsolutions.com.